Hey everyone, Hammer Dan here with Hammer Performance. So today we're in our final stages of tuning my S1 White Lightning. Just to recap here real quick, I did the 120 plus horsepower package. So basically our HP 600 cams, 1275 big bore kit, our stage 3 BFH headwork where we adjusted the valve angles and put a 2020 intake and an inch 630 exhaust valve in there. We went with 1.725 rocker arms, which gives us about a 637 lift. We have a super trap exhaust on the bike and one of our air cleaners, our 3-inch offset, which we took the filter off and just running the back plate, so we're open air. Other than that, that's about it. Energy One clutch in there.
Mikuni.
48 millimeter Mikuni carburetor and one of our billet manifolds. So I think that kind of sums up the package itself. We've been doing some testing and tuning. We've gone live with it a couple different times. And I don't know if any of you have seen it, but so far we've got the jetting dialed in. We've adjusted the timing last time and took all the discs and everything out of the super trap exhaust, and we're at about 119.5 horsepower and 92.3 foot-pounds of torque. If you want to come over and take a look at the chart here, show you kind of where we finished. Hopefully we can repeat that. That's kind of where we ended up. And so with our final tuning, I've adjusted the timing a little bit more and advanced it. That's where we found some power last time, was advancing the timing. So we went and advanced it a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and make some pulls and see what it does at this point in time. If it doesn't get us to where we need to be with a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 pulls, then we're going to go ahead and adjust the timing again back to or close to where we made that power that you saw there to see if we can get back to this point. If we can't find anything else in timing, then our next test is going to be to pull this end cap off of the super trap here and just run it straight open to see if we can gain some there as well. Kind of thinking the way the internals are set up on the super trap, it's very comparative to the Patriot exhaust, which we know works very, very well in the Sportster application. So we just got a hankling. We're going to give that a shot eventually and see what we end up with power-wise ultimately. So we'll go ahead and fire her up, make some pulls. We've adjusted the timing and advanced it a little bit to see what if we can get a little bit more than where we finished last time. So let's have at it. Okay. So it looks like our first pull was about the best there. So let's get rid of those. My bad. Ground options, multi-ground. You know what? We weren't. Yeah, I don't think we were hooked up properly, so I don't know if we're able to. We can do power, speed, air, fuel. That don't work for us. Anyways, let's do this. So let's go. $21, $17. So we'll fix that and get the RPMs working. I saw on the TAC it wasn't working, so or on the dyno it wasn't picking anything up. So we fell short on our number here a little bit. So I think we maybe are a little bit too far advanced on our timing. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the timing back to the place where we were on the 119.5 and see if we can duplicate that. So we'll go ahead and do that here real quick. So I have a mark on where we were at there. If I can see where we're at. So let's put it there. Okay. All right, let's give it another shot and see if we can go ahead and change some things here. Okay, so we got a little bit closer with a 119.1 at 92. So let's go ahead. And that was, I believe, 24. So we'll leave 24, we'll get rid of that, that, and that. Okay, so we kind of basically mimicked where we were at there. You can see how we get a lot of reversion here with this dip, which happens right down here. Okay, where it torque peaks, the pipe torque peaks, and then it kind of reverts and torque peaks again, which is really nice. We like the double torque peak there because, you know, horsepower is torque times RPM. So as we torque peak here up high, we help build that power up there as well. So I really do kind of like the pipe. It works pretty dang good. Like to see this a little bit higher and kind of pull a little bit more up there. I'm going to go ahead and retard the timing, I think, just a little bit more, just to see if it changes our number, if we fall off, or if we pick something up a little bit more by retarding it. We're still a little underneath our line here, so if we retard it, maybe that helps pull that up again to match that number. We're really, really close. I mean, we're close to that 120 mark, 92. I'm sure if I keep ripping on it, we can get to the 120, but I'd like to play with the timing just a little bit more and see if we can find that sweet spot from where we left off. We only changed the timing one time last time we did a dyno session, so we'll work with that here and play with it just a tad more and see if we can get her to come up a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and retard it a little bit more from where we sit. Like this. Okay. There we go. Let's cool her down. We'll let that cool down just a little bit before we fire it up again. Cylinders are a little bit more. About 190 on the head temp. Cylinders are dropping down to about 175, so they will cool down pretty fast. She's gonna be a fun little bike. Even where it sits right now at 119, boy, she should be a wheelie monster. First, second, third gear. Kind of excited. A little disappointed the snow is going to start flying on us, so won't have a chance too much this year to get out there and rip on it, but next year it's going to be a fun bike throughout the whole spring and summer. So, can't wait to play with her. All right, let's fire it up. a little power, about a horsepower or so there, horsepower and a half. So I'm going to go back and advance it a little bit from where I went, try to find that medium in the middle, see if we can get back to that 119, 119.5 range somewhere in there. Once we get it there, I think the next step will pull this end cap off and see if that makes a difference on our peak number. We'll go ahead and loosen this here. And I got my marks down here, so we're gonna rotate it clockwise. I'm gonna go about right there. Kind of splitting hairs here on finding that really, really good sweet spot. I think this should be it right here. We'll turn the fans on and let it cool down a little bit more. Really curious to see in the end here when we take this end cap off what this pipe actually does. With that end cap on there, of course, all of the air exhaust gas is going to come through the baffled portion in there, the perforated portion, and then they're going to hit the wall on the inside of that cap that's there and then work themselves out the hole that's open, the angled hole there on the end of the exhaust. With the Patriotic system, if we look at this while this is cooling down from our own here, if we take a look at the end of the Patriot here in the light, you can see that there, it's wide open through the perforations there, and that's all you have. So you got a stepped header with the perforated portion there, and we're coming straight through. So if my theory is correct, I would say, okay, mimicking the Patriot and taking that end cap off, we're now kind of duplicating exactly, because the perforated portion of the super trap's the same diameter and same hole size as the Patriot. Of course, the difference would be the stepped header pipes and the lengths and whatnot, but just very curious to see if we take that end cap off of there and don't have any back pressure whatsoever, if we pick up a top number, a peak number up on top. So we'll do that one next. But let's pull this now, let's see where we're at, and see if we can get this to change. All right, that's awesome. We did it. Broke the 120 mark, and even our second pull was 119.7. So that's awesome. Adjusting that timing just a little bit definitely helped for us. As you can see, just minor tweaks like that brings in a horsepower or two. I know we're splitting hairs here, but my whole goal was to at least see the 120 mark pop up. So that's awesome. We did that. We'll see if we can get it to come up more frequently by taking this end cap off. So bear with us here while we go ahead and take that end cap off. Dwayne, do you want to cut the zip ties on that? Pull the sniffer out of there. So we're going to need some. Dwayne, will you go over to the area next to your honing bench and get me some black gloves? Ouch. That one.
It might be next to the press.
Okay, so I got the bolts out. One here, here. Can you get me a right hand one? Two lefties.
You're left-handed, right?
Yeah, I am lefty. Not both hands though. Oh. Now the key is whether or not we can get that out of there. Got a bugger in there. There we go. It's coming. There. That's very hot. Ouch.
Should be plenty of flow.
Yeah, that's the whole goal here, just to see. It's a good test to see if opening it wide open like that, what it does on our air-fuel curve. They're hot. And what it does ultimately on our top-end number. So this will be an interesting test. See what we got here. So, put the sniffer back in real quick. Like this. Okay, let's cool her down. Let's cool her down here a minute. Okay, so again, we pulled that cap off the super trap down there, just for shits and giggles, to see what our theory is. Might shoot us in the ass, but who knows? May work. May gain a few extra ponies at the top. So this will be a true test to see if our back pressure was holding us back a little bit, or maybe it'd go the opposite way and lose power because of it. So we'll go ahead and see. All right. All right, so looks like it made a little bit difference there for us. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the last pull. So let's do the 31. So 31 was our best. We'll take a look at the AFRs to see. And it looks like our 29 pull was a good one. And we'll get rid of the red. Okay, so got a couple different things going on here. So the last poll, the 31 poll, boy, you can see I really like this. So there's going to be some more play in here. I don't think we're quite done yet. If you notice what happened here compared to our other poll where we hit 120 just a while ago before we took the end cap off, you can see here how we had so much reversion or dip in this middle down here where it went super, super fat. Look what happened when we took the end cap off to run it wide open with no back pressure whatsoever. We lost a tad right down here from 3,000 to roughly about 4,000. So 1,000 RPM range, we're short by maybe a couple horsepower through there, okay? If we look at the two, 48 to 50 it looks like, 53 to 56, 59 to 60. So we're short a horsepower or so right through here. You can see that. Our 31 run just recent, first of the last pulls here with the end cap off. But boy, look at what it did to our mid-range. That dip that we saw here where it went really, really fat from the back pressure and the reversion in the pipe, we got rid of that. Isn't that nice? Look at that, just straight all the way up. We get a little choppiness all the way up here at the top. So I'm gonna look at that. Maybe we need to play with timing a little bit more or whatnot. You can see we lost some torque here from the loss that we have here as well. Okay, just down low. But we're sacrificing here, which I would be more than happy to sacrifice here because I'm not playing a whole lot at 3 to 4. When I'm playing and riding this bike, man, I'm going from 4 to 7, 75. I'm playing hard up here. So this is really nice that we gained and we didn't lose. And same through here. We picked up so much here in the mid-range. If we look at that, as far as our horsepower curve goes here, looks like we go from, let me see here, where are we at here? Looks like we go from 95 to 100, so we picked up 5 horsepower right there through that mid-range. Isn't that something? Right here, it looks like we're at, is that 84?
84 and 88.7.
84, yeah. So 84 to 88 to 93, it looks like. 84 to 88 there. That's just amazing. Just amazing what we gained there. So that's promising. We're a little bit choppy up here. Don't know what we got going on there. If we're losing any kind of valve train control up there, it's not too bad. Just the one pull. So maybe, and as you can see, so here's the other kicker. There's probably more in here. Stay tuned because I don't think we're done yet. We're going to go play with this and do another session. Look at our blue run here. By taking that end cap off and alleviating all of our mid-range, look at what happened. We didn't have a dip in our torque, in our fuel curve here. We lost the dip. It went lean as all get out. So it wants way more fuel with an open pipe. We're at 14 to 1. Drops down to about 13.7 somewhere in here. Okay, yeah, 13.7 right there. 13.6. Okay, up here we're at 13.7, 13.6, 13.6. So what that tells me is it wants more fuel. We need to go to a bigger jet. I think normally where we find max power is right around 13.1, somewhere in there. There's a jet change here to maybe get us another 2 horsepower or so out of this, maybe more, we'll see. But I'm really liking the fact it picked up the mid-range. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited on what that brought by pulling that end cap out of there. So, okay, there you have it. That's what we got out of it so far. I thought this was going to be the last of the tuning sessions. We're going to post this on YouTube so y'all can check it out and everything, but we're going to have another session to play with this. There may be a few more ponies in there. So other than that, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Peace out.